Hey guys, Ivan here from the Body Consultants. Just giving you guys a quick little video and it's a little slideshow in regards to alcohol intake and getting results. Now, this seems to be quite a bit of a common thing that we get here at the Body Consultants. People always are under the assumption they have to completely cut alcohol to get a result, which yes, it is going to help you get results faster, but we are all about, giving you guys a life outside of the gym and outside of training. And that life does consist of drinking from time to time. Okay, so what I'm going to give to you today, I'm just going to give you a little bit of information on how alcohol can obviously lead to fat gain and how there are a few ways that you can mitigate those things to help you, progressing and still enjoying a few drinks every now and then. Okay, so when you drink alcohol, all right, it is pretty much absorbed from your stomach and intestines and into your blood. Okay, it then passes through your liver on its way into the blood. When it's in your circulation, it pretty much keeps passing through the liver. And during every passing, your liver sort of breaks down some of the alcohol into acetate. Okay, now acetate is the compound that makes alcohol toxic. So when acetate enters your blood, it pretty much inhibits fat burning throughout the body, not just in your liver. Okay, so as a result, most of the fatty acids that are in your bloodstream start to get stored. All right, and this is why alcohol has such a high potential to make you fat. So it's not actually the calories within alcohol that lead to fat gain. I mean, that can play a bit of a role, but it's more the toxic substance that leads to fat being stored a lot more easily. Okay, which is acetate. And we got to remember, because alcohol, the body recognizes alcohol as a poison. Okay, the body's going to do whatever it can to get rid of its poison first before it does anything else. Okay, so that means fat burning goes down, muscle building goes down, all these other things have to go on hold until the body has gotten rid of the alcohol. All right. So the upshot again is that acetate is very hard to convert into fat itself, and your liver is too busy breaking down the toxic acetate to contribute to the creation of new fat, known in science as de novo lipogenesis. Okay, don't have to worry too much about that. So as a result, your liver stores less than 5% of alcohol as fat. Okay, plus alcohol itself has no fats and very few carbs. Okay, so this means we can avoid the fat storing effect by alcohol by minimizing the amount of fatty acids in circulation. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, it's not the actual alcohol that is causing you to be fat, or causing you to store fat. It is the ease at which your body gets into fat storing mode because of the circulating acetate. Okay, so can't the body just convert carbs or protein to fat? All right. Well, no, it can, but it's a very, very inefficient mechanism. De novo lipogenesis, which is the creation of fat from other nutrients, is not effective unless you're in an energy surplus. Okay. I'm pretty sure you guys know where I'm going with this. But protein and carbs only considerably increase fat storage indirectly. Okay, meaning that they only influence the rate at which the fat you consume is stored instead of used for energy. So if you consume more carbs and more protein, that means more fat will be stored. Okay, if you consume more fats, dietary fats, yes, you will be burning off more fats, but you will also be storing more carbs and protein through indirect methods. Okay, and this is why, and it's a bit off topic, but this is how you can still gain body fat while eating different macros. Okay, so acetate, which is the metabolite of alcohol, which I was talking about, can indirectly influence fat storage by making the free fatty acids in your bloodstream more prone for storage than energy production. Okay, so when there is alcohol in your system, fat gets stored and protein gets burnt. Okay, so carbohydrate intake is fine as long as you're in a caloric deficit. Okay, so remember, de novo lipogenesis is not an efficient way to store fat. So as long as you are in a deficit energy-wise, you will not store fat. Okay, so again, Excessive alcohol consumption, though, can spike insulin, disrupt glucose homeostasis, and induce insulin resistance, which means your body can't use insulin as well, which can lead to type 2 diabetes, okay? So if you know it is going to be impossible to avoid a caloric surplus on a night out, you can also glycogen deplete beforehand and minimize caloric intake for the day, which will be discussed on the next slide. And this can also be done over 3 days where you go relatively low carb as well. Okay, so preparing for a night out. So if you know you're gonna have a massive bender on Saturday, you want to limit your dietary fat intake to 0.3 grams per kilo. Now that is very, very little, and I would not recommend this as a long-term thing. But again, minimizing the amount of free fatty acids that we have circulating will lead to less fat storage over the night. You also want to limit carbs to about 1.5 grams per kilo of body weight, okay? And you pretty much want to get all your carbs from veggies and to tag along carbs in some protein sources, okay? You also want to limit carb-rich alcohol sources, such as drinks made with fruit juices and beer, okay? So due to the limit on dietary fat, you also need to get your protein from lean sources. Protein such as low-fat cottage cheese, protein powder, chicken, turkey, tuna, pork, and egg whites are all good sources of protein for this day. For effective fat loss, so if you still want to keep progressing, this should only be limited to 1 evening per fortnight, okay? If you can seriously apply the above protocol, and there is no reason that you will lose fat. The only issues I see with this, okay, again, this can definitely prepare you for a night out, but as you know, once the drinks start flowing and inhibition starts to go down, your care factor for your nutrition and for everything else sort of goes to shit as well. So again, using this as a preparing thing is all well and good, but you also got to look at the after effects of alcohol and what it does to you for the next following days. Okay, so the next day this all might go to shit, or you might be so hungry on the night that you just go, oh fuck it, I'm gonna have an entire pizza. Okay, and you pretty much blow out everything that you've been trying to work for that day. Okay. And also the day after, you feel like shit, you don't move around as much. That, again, is not a ideal situation for fat burning or for enhancing your physique as well. So this is where alcohol can become an issue. So the actual alcohol on the night, yes, you can still enjoy your night, but you got to realize that there will be ramifications to pay for afterwards, which can indirectly influence your results as well. And another thing to consider as well is when you consume a shit ton of alcohol, what happens is that your body starts, when it's trying to get rid of it, it pretty much uses the majority of its nutrients and B vitamins and all these important things to actually get rid of the alcohol and detoxify it, okay? So all these nutrients that could be used for energy production or for fat burning or for doing whatever are being utilized to get rid of this alcohol, which is why you always feel like shit the day after. Okay, so if you are going to go for a bit of a drink on the night out, on that night, you know it's going to be a big one. Limit your dietary fat to pretty much 0 or 0.3 grams per kilo of body weight. Again, you should not be adding any fats. Keep your carbs relatively low as well, and pretty much just have your protein. Okay, again, your protein amount can be as much as you want. Okay, as long as it comes from these sources as well. All right, that should set you up really, really good for a night on the piss, and you probably won't need too much to get pretty fucked up as well. Okay. Hope you guys enjoy that little snippet of information. If you guys want any more answers to any questions in regards to alcohol and training and nutrition, please don't hesitate to send me a message. Cool. Thanks.